Tennessee versus Arkansas this weekend. And listen, I got to mention this. I've already been out there publicly saying this, so Tennessee fans don't really like me for saying this. I think this is going to be one hell of a matchup. You know, one thing that people, when they've looked at this game, say is that, oh, on paper, Tennessee should go into Arkansas and blow them out. This shouldn't even be a contest. That's not how the SEC works. Now, if your favorite team or you're a fan of the SEC, you know that every single year we make these determinations of, man, this team's going to blow out this team for X, Y, and Z reason. And because this conference is so tough, there's so many really good teams in this conference, it doesn't ever really always pan out that way. You're going to have to go on the road in this conference and getting dogfights. Tennessee got in a dogfight with Oklahoma a couple of weeks ago. You should know, and that's a newcomer in the SEC. Let me start off with this. In reference to the game, I've never liked when a dog is in a corner with their back up against a corner, and I do think that that's Arkansas. I specifically think that that's Sam Pittman. I feel and have kind of just heard some things around Fayetteville that they are going to what they call empty the clip this week versus Tennessee because they don't know if they have a chance to beat them, and they're going to throw every single thing that they have at them to pull off this upset. Let me start with the Razorbacks here. I do think that the home field environment is going to play to their benefit. This is going to be a tough environment, a tough road environment for Tennessee to go into. And look, Tennessee was tested a couple of weeks ago against Oklahoma, a rowdy crowd and environment, a team and program going into a new conference, wanting to make a statement, and Josh Heupel goes back into Norman and gets that win. Who is Arkansas really? Who are they? You know, I see flashes of good things that they've done in the running game. They go up to Stillwater and run the ball at will, but then they fumble the bag in the second half, and they're unable to win that football game that they really should have. Arkansas should have beat the dog snot out of Oklahoma State, but they fumbled the ball away. They fumbled the game away. You know, Arkansas against Auburn. Auburn should have won that football game. They had multiple chances when they got inside the red zone that they threw interceptions. They had turnovers. You know, the Auburn's running back in Austin fumbled the ball when he's literally running in for a touchdown, and Arkansas was able to find a way to win there. But the strong likelihood and the real true conversation is they probably shouldn't, but they did find a way to win. And look, man, only thing that matters is winning. Then I look against them against Texas A&M last week, and their running game was pretty much shut down by a really good front. And Tennessee has a really good front seven. Now, I don't know if their secondary has been tested the way that we need to see them get tested. I don't know what to make of that Tennessee secondary at the current moment because we thought coming into the season that secondary, got some changes. What do we make of them? They've been average to below average the last 2 years, and I'm saying that very graciously, in my humble opinion. But I don't know what Arkansas is offensively. I see flashes. I see flashes of Taylor Green making some really good runs on third downs, making some really good reads in the passing game. You know, last week, guys, there were some throws that he made that were exceptional because he made NFL-type throws a week ago. The problem is that he's 23 of 41 last week, just above 50%. And then the 2 weeks before that, he's below 50% in throwing the football. Now, number one, I do think that you're throwing the football a little too much with him. You need to find ways to get him out in space. I know maybe you don't want to get him hurt and you don't want to run him as much, but a guy that's a below 55% completion percentage guy, I don't understand the logic of you throwing it 40-plus times a game in these games that you're in. I don't understand it. Last week, you were unable to run the football at all, really. And I think that your offensive line has gone up against some really good fronts, and this is going to be another good one. The biggest advantage or disadvantage potentially that Arkansas has in this one is that Tennessee front seven is deep, man. It's deep. But when's the game going to come where they stop turning the football over? So I'm going to talk about that too. Guys, Arkansas is a top 25 offense running the football outside of last week. They dropped drastically because of the performance that they had a week ago. But the thing about them offensively has been they make so many mistakes and so many turnovers. They have so many turnovers, crucial turnovers. When does that stop or does it? You know, I still, if I'm an Arkansas fan, have faith in their OC and Bobby Petrino. I still have faith that they can do some good things out wide with Tesla, Singleton, etc. I just don't trust them. I don't trust what they're doing offensively because when I feel like that they need to get things going and they need to close the door on a team, they can't do it. Even though I think Taylon Green, for what it's worth, is one of the more scarier quarterbacks in the country. And I really do believe that. I really do believe that Arkansas has a quarterback that once he's outside that pocket and he's running, he presents so many dangerous things that he can do to you. I just don't know who they are. Now, I do think defensively they played a lot better than I thought that they would, really. They've generated a lot of turnovers. They've been able to stop the run. They've been able to get a really good pass rush. You know, Landon was able to get his first sack last week. Good on him. As a kid that I knew when he was being recruited at LSU, when I covered that team. But good on him. Their defense has been better than I expected them to be as well. But you got a really daunting task coming into this one. That Tennessee defensive front is legit. I'll say all that to say this too. I still think this is going to be a close game. I think Tennessee, for what it's worth, has not faced anybody that has been able to test them at minimum. Like, how do I want to say this? Oh, I'll just come out and say it. And I know that this is a hot take and people are 100% going to disagree with me here. I think Arkansas might be the biggest test that Tennessee has faced all year. 100% believe that. Because even though I think Oklahoma's defense is much, much better than what Arkansas is going to present to you this upcoming weekend. Oklahoma offensively, guys, Jackson Arnold got benched. You're throwing in a true freshman. He's scrambling for his life. He has no idea what to do. You go to an NC State team that's, guys, they're god-awful. You play Kent State, who's literally the worst team in all of college football from a G5 and P4 perspective. They rank, and you can go look this up yourself, they rank 133rd in most statistical categories. Guys, that's dead last in college football. They are not a good football team. You should know that. You played them. I just think that if Arkansas can find a way at home, hostile environment, if they can just stay in front of the chains and not create turnovers, that this game is going to be closer than some people expect. When does Nico Iamaleava find a way to finally break out here? I think that this could be a situation where he can. I don't think that Arkansas secondary is that great, to be honest with you. They got some injuries there too at corner safety with Hayden, but I think this can be a 2-score game. I think this could be a 10-score game, a 10-point game. I know a lot of people are saying that Arkansas is going to get blown out in this one. I just don't know if this conference does that to us, man. Like maybe they can, but I do think that this is the biggest test that Tennessee has faced all year. And people are going to call me crazy, but if you really think about it, and I'll debate with you in the comments. Like, if you disagree with me, debate with me in the comments. I'll definitely go in there and we can have a good discussion, if you'd like, on that being the realistic nature. But here's the thing. Let me get to Tennessee before we move on here. I think they can run the ball on Arkansas. I think they need to get their playmakers the ball out in space quickly. Get Nico some really good throws. Let Nico run a little bit too. Listen, I think you're going up again. You're going up against an opponent that has nothing to lose. You have a lot to lose. They have zero to lose. Sam Pittman at the current moment has nothing to lose. Guys, just back us up against the wall. You cannot take this team lightly. You cannot take this team as, oh, we're going to go in there and blow them out. I have this as a 34-17 game. It's where I would have it at. And score-wise, I just think that Samson and Nico and Heupel are going to be able to find a way. And maybe even later in the game, maybe it's closer in the early parts of the game. They're going to find a way. They're going to open it up, and they're going to win this one. But I do think that this one's going to be an outright dogfight. I think that you're in for a treat of a game. You're in for a treat of a game. And I think Arkansas is going to give you every single punch that they have. Here's something that's interesting. I also think that Arkansas is going to try to keep the ball away from you, but they've had such a tough time sustaining drives and not having turnovers that, look, if you're able to generate the turnovers that A&M did and that Oklahoma State did against Arkansas, I do see that there could be a path where you blow them out. And I hate that for Sam Pittman. I hate that for Arkansas fans. I know that they thought, in the first half, man, their dreams got crushed after that in that second half of Oklahoma State. But it is who they are at this current moment. Guys, they're Auburn with a more athletic quarterback. That's who they are. They are Auburn with a more athletic quarterback. And be honest with you, they got a really good coaching staff, this Arkansas. The thing for me is that I just don't, when I look at them, I don't know if they can limit Tennessee to coming out to a fast start. Tennessee is outscoring teams 78-3 in the first quarter. But here's the thing, though, man. Even in saying that, I'm cautious because Oklahoma possessed no real chance of beating you with Jackson Arnold. That offensive line is horrible. It's horrible. But as the great legend Lee Corso would say, not so fast, my friend.